Hey, what's up? This is Gary from Raz Rentals. Sometimes toy lines can get pretty annoying with all their variants. Marvel Legends, for instance, you just want to scream. Stop giving me different suits of the same 4 guys. Start giving me more villains. By the way, I do think that these Spider-Man suits are pretty essential. I love these, but, Spidey's the only guy I have multiples of, so, I had to use them for imagery. There is one series, however, that for over 30-some years has been pumping out variant after variant after variant, and it never feels old, and that's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And yes, I've been thinking about it lately. Though technically they're not Playmates, all of the NECA and Super 7 figures are kind of like new variants of the same old line we've been buying since we were 5. It's crazy when you think of it. They keep on making more, and we just keep buying and buying. Things started out innocently enough. In 1988, you had the main version of all 4 guys, plus a couple villains and a couple of friends, and, that was great. In 1989, along with some new characters, you also had the first variant set in the Ninja Turtles, the Wacky Action Turtles, and, that was still good, keeping things nice and easy. And in 1990, you got a few more basic figures, you got more wacky figures other than the Turtles, and, you got one other brand new set of variant figures. Only one again, the Disguised Turtles, and I love these guys. I think these guys are great. And, it was really nice that Playmates was keeping things nice and restrained. And then in 1991, all bets were off. And, somebody at Playmates must have woken up someday and was like, wait, if we make 1,000 Ninja Turtles, they'll buy it. And guess what? We bought it. And, they released the Rock and Roll Ninja Turtles, Mutant Military Turtles, Talking Turtles, Head Dropping Turtles, Unspecified Turtles. You had the Sports Turtles. Obviously, I'm missing a lot here. And, of course, the Storage Shell Turtles. These 4 figures are pretty awesome, and lately I've noticed people mention them more and more. I can't remember who it was, but in an interview recently with Brian Flynn, the interviewer asked Brian if they would make Ultimate Storage Shell Turtles, or if they would eventually just release like a head pack, so that you could pop these cool-looking faces on your Ninja Turtle Ultimates. Either would be great, because the heads on these guys are expressive and totally rad. Why are the heads so rad? Well, I'm going to give you my take on the heads and talk about each figure and their weapons. But first, let me begin by saying, originally, I wasn't even going to collect these Storage Shell figures. It always seemed kind of like a gimmick that Playmates came up with just to make you buy more and more Ninja Turtles. And for the longest time, I only planned on getting like the regular Turtles, all the side characters, and just like a few variants like the Disguised Turtles that, were my favorite, plus some vehicles. But the most amazing thing happened last year. I made a pickup of epic proportions. And how epic was it? Well, take a look. It was pretty much every single Ninja Turtle toy from 1988 to 1991, plus more. It was insane. And, it wasn't even a collector that sold me this. It was just a guy who, he had all these Ninja Turtle toys stored up in his mother's attic or basement since the 90s. Like, you never see anything like that, and I doubt I'll ever see anything like this again in my lifetime. Like, it was just amazing, and, like, I was so happy to buy it. So it pretty much filled in all the figures and vehicles I needed, not to mention figures I didn't even originally want. I never had the Storage Shell Turtles as a kid, but my friends had them, and I just remember like them never having the parts or the pieces that go inside of them. But, now 30 years later, and having all the pieces, and seeing these guys as a set, like, it's such an awesome thing. Like, I was silly not to want these guys. So first off, let's talk about the faces. I think these faces are a more successful wacky face than the wacky faces on the Wacky Ninja Turtles. The original 88 toys are, they're great, but they are a little serious and, maybe dialed back a little bit. The Storage Shell Turtles, I don't know, like they're filled with attitude and they're very expressive. It's kind of like they took that original face and dialed it up to 11. And that's great because as the series progressed, it got wackier and wackier and you had brighter colors and all that kind of stuff. So In some instances, like here you have Worm, the original 1988 Leonardo doesn't necessarily fit in with him as well as the storage shell Leonardo. You have that cool expressive face, plus the bright belt, I think, kind of sets him over a little bit too. The bodies are almost exactly the same as the 88 Ninja Turtles. Those original 1988 Ninja Turtles, they all had the same shell, but their heads and their arms and their legs were unique to whichever turtle it was. The shells, too, almost look identical as the original 1998 Turtles, except they're cut in half. Like, I don't know how they did that, if they just took this mold and, cut it in half. I don't know what they did. But, if you look at the back of the shell, all the scratches and everything are all in the same place. And just the general proportion of it is the same. But, of course, you can open it up. Inside the shell here, you can see that there's a peg on the inside here where you can put ninja stars. And then in here you just have a big empty space. And you have like these pegs, or what do you call them, tabs, pegs, whatever, for the legs and the arms. And even these are built a little differently than the 88 Turtles, because from what I remember of my toy smashing days from when I was a child, this little tab in here was a lot smaller or shorter and kind of flat and probably wider than these ones. These ones are very round and, kind of bulbous. The storage shell turtles all have the same arms as the 88 Turtles. You can tell by the muscle definition, how the veins are, and, just the placement of the arms. Like, you see how Mikey's, the right arm is kind of like rotated or slanted inward like that. See, Raph doesn't have that kind of arm that rotates inward like that. And, other than that, they also all have the same legs. Like, all their feet positions are the exact same. So, if you have trouble standing your original Donatello, more likely you're going to have a hard time standing your storage shell Donatello. I don't know how they did it, like I said before. What they pretty much did was, it's like the same exact leg, but it's like they chopped it off here and then added that little tab in there. So instead of these ones where they're ball jointed, where you can move them all over the place, these ones you can only rotate on a 360 rotation. It works well, and sometimes it actually works a little better, I think, for like Donatello and Leonardo. I don't know if it's because their legs are always locked in the same position that just kind of makes them sturdier than the original 1988 Turtles. The, all the bands on the arms and the legs all match, and the belts sort of match. They all have the same, like, tassels or whatever, or straps that come off the initial section here. Like, they're all shaped the same exact way. For some reason, though, the storage shell ones look a little squished, so it's more of an oval around the letter instead of an actual circle. Not to mention on some characters like Donatello and Leonardo, they remove those extra straps that go around their back. But, Donatello still you have the place to put his bow, and Leo still has the place to put his swords. Later on, they released all these storage shell turtles at KB toy stores, but when they re-released them, they gave them all black belts instead of, their special color, and they're harder to find. And not only that, but in 1990, they did release a single Donatello figure along with the basic figures, and he had a black belt, and he kind of has a different skin tone. And I got this picture from the TMNT Virtual Museum, so if you're looking for anything Ninja Turtles, go check there. There's lots of great information. In some ways, because they don't have those straps that go around their back, these Ninja Turtle figures kind of remind me of, like, the cartoon Ninja Turtles. And in my opinion, if you were going to buy these storage shell turtles or the later release of cartoon Ninja Turtles that Playmates put out, like maybe 2 or 3 years after this, I'd go with the storage shell turtles. Since these guys are the storage shell turtles, of course they all had to come with some cool items to store. Each turtle comes with 2 of their signature weapons, 3 brand new weapons, 2 ninja stars, and a pizza, a weapon pizza. Because the weapons didn't come on weapons racks, there aren't any tabs that you have to remove from them, so they're all nice and clean. The ninja stars, too, look fantastic. That's one way that you can actually tell, you know, if you have an original weapon or if you have the weapon of the storage shell Ninja Turtle, because you won't have any areas where you would have that little tab that you'd have to cut off. And the weapons of these guys are a little lighter too. They're a little brighter than the darker colored weapons of the original 88 Turtles. So if you look here, you can see that you have on the original 88 sword, you got the little thing here and you got the little thing down here. And on the storage shell one, you got none of that. That's one way I was able to figure out the right bows for Donatello too. You know, this one doesn't have any marks on it, and sometimes you can get them with the marks, but they're so small you might not even recognize them. Like right there and right there. That's from where it was connected to the weapons rack, and this does not have it. I will be honest though, I do cheat a little bit with these, just because the ninja stars are, you know, hard to come by. Here's an original 88 ninja star, and here's a storage shell ninja star, and I don't have, you know, 8 storage shell ninja stars, so I usually just stick the 88 ones inside the shells too for the 2 that I don't have complete. So here's all the items that the turtles come with. First you got Leonardo, and he's got his ninja swords. And you can't fit these in the shell, so lucky for you, you got the scabbards on his back. You can pop them in there instead. Up next, he should have 2 ninja stars. I only got 1 though. And after this, things get a little interesting. First up, you have the turtle grappling hook. And, you know, on the hand, like right above the handle here, you have some turtle shells. And, you know, it has a nice wrap around the handle. And this is great, you know. You could see, like, this could work for any of your Ninja Turtles, even your 88 Turtles, to have this nice Ninja Turtle grappling hook. And, you know, it looks very nice up here. I like the design. And down here in the bottom, I couldn't tell if all of them come with a string or just mine is incomplete, but some of them do have a string, a little tiny, like 1-inch black string off of here that, you know, it's supposed to look like you're grabbing onto something with it. Seems a little short though. If you were a kid and you had this, you'd probably pop that off and put like a really long string so that you could hang your Leonardo from some high up place, like a bookshelf or something. Up next, you have the spiked knuckle / climbing claw. So, you know, either this can be an offensive weapon, or you can have your Ninja Turtles use it to climb you know, the Technodrome or some kind of building. You could have them climb the Ghostbusters firehouse if you want to. You know, this is pretty cool, and if anything, like, you know, you'd want to have like 8 of these things so that you could pretend that your Ninja Turtles are each have one in one of their hands. So I might have to go and try to find 7 more. Now things get real zany because here's the Armadillo Club. Like, Leonardo's just using this poor little armadillo to smack his enemies with. Crazy. The Armadillo Club is actually a little too big. You can fit it in the storage shell, but if you pop that in there, you're not really going to be able to fit much more. Last, Leonardo has his, you know, his offensive, looks like a razor blade or a saw blade pizza or something like that. And, you know, on this pizza, it looks like there's maybe like grapefruit or cherries and pineapple. And, you know, it's green. Is this Jell-O? Like, what's up with this pizza? So since his armadillo is so big, it doesn't really fit that well in the shell with all the other stuff, right? So I usually put the armadillo in his hand and display him that way. And then to fit everything else in the back, I just put the pizza first. The, where's my ninja star? Put the grappling hook there. And, oh my gosh, come on. Apparently I'm not good at this. Okay. So, there you go. Alright, so Raph, you know, of course he comes with his size. You know, they look great because you don't have the tabs on there. They look very clean and nice. He also comes with 2 ninja stars. Now we get into the weird and crazy weapons. And first up you have the Manta Axe. And this is funny because I never would have thought about this until I saw Manta. Like, I never paid that much attention to it. I thought it was just a regular axe blade. But no, that's a manta ray, and it's wrapped around here, and you have the little, you know, like the pitchfork tail. And on top you have a cool little morning star or mace. And I like that. That's pretty cool. Next up, Raph has the ninja rang. And, you know, this looks like it's made out of something. Maybe it's made out of, like, a seashell or something. I can't tell if that's supposed to be something. I don't know. But, yeah, I guess since Raph's other weapons are all ocean-inspired, to me, this, I guess it could be a seashell or something. I don't know. If you know what this is supposed to be, let me know. And finally, he has the Blowfish Mace. And, again, I think this is hilarious. Like, look at the face on this blowfish. The absolute terror. It's like Raph is using this thing to beat foot soldiers and other evil mutants. Like, that's crazy. That was the cool and funny and gross and weird humor of the Ninja Turtles back in the 90s, and we all loved it. Next up, you have Raph's Pizza, and like, I can't tell what this is supposed to be on here. I can't really make out any of this food, but, you know, I guess it's... If you know what's supposed to be on Raph's Pizza, let me know that too. I have no idea. So just like Leo, Raph cannot fit all of his weapons in his storage shell because this thing is just way too big. This thing won't even really fit in there alone, let alone with the other items. So I usually display him holding this weapon, and yeah, just putting everything else in the back is pretty easy after that. Certainly easier than Leonardo's, right? So Michelangelo, of course, comes with his 2 nunchucks, and, you know, one of mine is broke, which is a bummer. But, so you got that, and you have he's got the 2 ninja stars, again. And then after that, Michelangelo comes with some, just like Leonardo with his grappling hook, I think Michelangelo has some pretty good weapons because you can use them across the line, and they're not too goofy, but they're kind of... you know, like, kind of like essential items or something. First up, you have the pipe grappling hook. And, you know, this is, you know, just a couple of pipes because the Ninja Turtles live in the sewers, put together and uses a grappling hook. The original owner must have added this string because this is not the right kind of string that should have been on here. And I just kind of left it on here to, you know, capture that kind of look like it is a rope for the grappling hook. It's pretty neat, but I like Leonardo's grappling hook a lot more. Next up, Mikey has the turtle flashlight, and like I said, this is another one of those items that's great because you can use it across the line. You can have your 88 turtles pretend they're trying to find something in the dark, or they're trying to find the Technodrome in the underground, and I don't know. It's pretty cool. It would be nice to get like a couple of these. And finally, he has the mini sickle. You know, there's nothing special about this, but it just looks cool. It's a pretty cool looking weapon. I like this. If anything, it kind of reminds me of like a fish hook. I don't know if they were like originally planning on making all of these items like fish inspired or what, but it seems like Raph had a bunch, Mikey has some, you know, and Donatello has some. Mikey's pizza has sardines and onions on it, and looks like peppers. This is a pizza that I would not want to eat. I usually display my Michelangelo holding 1 nunchuck and the mini sickle, but Michelangelo is the only Ninja Turtle here where you can actually fit all of his extra weapons in his shell because they're not too big. Unlike Raph and Leo, where you can't, you know. Oh gosh, come on. There we go. Perfect, except for that string hanging out the bottom. Alright, so finally we have Donatello, and Donatello of course comes with his 2 bows. Unfortunately, both of mine are pretty warped. He also comes with 2 ninja stars, but pretend this is a sword shell ninja star. This is an 88 one, you can see the tabs. Okay, so first up, Donatello comes with the shark fin hatchet. And this is another weapon where, like, I had no idea that was supposed to be a shark fin until I saw the name of it on the back of the card. So yeah. Shark fin hatchet. It's pretty cool. Next up, is the fish knife. And what can I say? Hilarious. Like, look at this poor guy. Man, I just love old toys. You know, the gross out humor is just so missed. Finally, he's got the sewer slingshot, and in my honest opinion, out of all the items that come with all 4 of these Ninja Turtles, I think this one is like the most boring. Like, it's just, there's nothing very special about it. Like, it doesn't have that weird, gross personality, or, you know, isn't as good as like a grappling hook or a flashlight. And this thing is huge. You can't even fit this in his storage shell. This just does not go in there. And like, who does Donatello think he is? Dennis the Menace? Now, because Donatello did have that initial release in 1990, they actually gave this pizza a name on the back of that original card. And this pizza is called the Killer Pizza. Okay. And again, I can't tell what's supposed to be on here. You know, what are these things? It looks like there's some dead fish. But other than that, I can't make anything out. And like I said, because the sewer slingshot is so big, you can't fit it in there. But the other items are relatively small, so it's pretty simple getting them all inside of there. So that's all 4 storage shell Ninja Turtles. And you know, like I said, originally I thought this was a silly gimmick, but man, have I warmed up to these guys. Like, I think they're great. And, you know, obviously this is a pretty popular product, because in the 2012 series, they also released Ninja Turtles with storage shells. And I don't know if they did that with the 2003 ones too, but, you know, they're keeping it alive. So you're not getting like brand new dramatic bodies or anything like that. Like, the silhouettes are pretty similar to the 1988 Ninja Turtles. But you know, you are getting some awesome new weapons, cool colored belts, sturdier legs, and heads that take the Turtles to the next level. You know, they fit in so much more with the later Ninja Turtle releases. They look great. So don't be like me in February of 2020. Be like me in March of 2020. And say yes to the storage shell Turtles. And, you know, I hope if anything, Super 7 releases a head pack for the Ultimates Turtles, just so I don't have to pay extra for the, you know, another set of figures. So thanks for watching, and let me know what you think. I was pretty excited about making this review, because this review is my 50th Raz Rentals review. So I was pretty excited to get here, and, you know, I can't wait to hit 100. And have a good one.